Hello everyone, welcome to our today lecture. In our today lecture, we are going to discuss that what are the good features for any regression model. Basically, our this session will be consist of two lecture. In first session, we will be discussing theoretically what are the good features of regression model. In our second session, continuing to this lecture, we will apply all these features practically on an economics model using views. So in our first session, we will be discussing theoretically that what are the good features of the regression model. So the first feature of the regression model is that the model should have high R square. So basically what is meant by R square, or what does R square shows? Basically R square shows that how much variation in your dependent variable due to of the independent variable which you have included in your model. So basically R square indicates the proportion of variance in the dependent variable that is predictable from the independent variables. So the question arises that what should be the optimum value for R square to be said that the model is good fitted or not. So usually we say that if any economics model have R square more than 60% or it is 60%, then we can say that the particular model is good fitted or good model. So it means that the independent variables are explaining well your dependent variable. So basically R square values lies between 0 to 1. So if it is close to 1, it means that your model is 100% fully fitted or 100% explaining your dependent variable. If it is close to 0, then it means that your independent variables are not explaining your dependent variable. So normally we say that if your R square value is in between or is 0.6 or 0.7, it means that the dependent variable is explained by 60 or 70% by your independent variable. So we can say that our model is good. The second thing, which is the feature for or good feature for the regression model, is the significance of the F statistic. Basically, F statistic tell us the jointly significance of our model. It shows that how our independent variable are jointly affecting our dependent variables. So if the probability value of F stat is less than 0.05, it means that your model is good fitted and your independent variable are jointly significanting your dependent variable. So the next thing is that low p values of the coefficients. So if your coefficient values, your p values of the coefficient are less, usually we take the bottom line, or the rule of thumb is that if your probability value of coefficient is less than 0.05, it means that your coefficients are significant. So for the significance of the coefficient, it is necessary that your p values are less than 0.05. In some cases, we take 0.1 and we can say that our values, our coefficient are significant at 10%, but in the most of the cases we will take the bottom line of 0.05. So it means that at 5%, at the value of 5%, our coefficients are significant. And the next thing is higher value of the coefficients. So it is very important for any economics model that your coefficient values are or should be higher. So more the coefficient values, it means that your independent variables are highly affecting your dependent variable. So it is also good, or it is also necessary for your economics model that your independent variables coefficients are very high. If your coefficient values are very low, it means that your independent variables are explaining very less to your dependent variable. And the next thing is p-value. P-value also shows the significance of your dependent variable, and t-value also shows the significance of your independent variable. F statistic shows jointly significance of the model. On the other hand, P and T values shows individually significance of our independent variable. If T value is greater than 2, then it means that your independent variable is significant. And if your P value is less than 0.05, it means that your independent variable is significant. So the P and T both shows the individual significance of the model, but both of them move in opposite direction. Higher the T value, then lower will be the P value, and lower the T value, higher the P value. So T and P values both move in opposite direction, but they both tell us the same thing. They both tell us the individual significance of the variable. So the next thing is that there should be no multicollinearity in your model. Basically, a multicollinearity exists in your model when two or more independent variables are affecting each other. So when there is correlation exists between your independent variables, so it means that there is an issue of multicollinearity in your model. So before applying any econometrics model, it is necessary that you have to remove multicollinearity from your model. So basically, there are different methods which are used for checking the problem of multicollinearity. One of them is VIF, variance inflation factor. If it is below than 10, then you can say that there is no issue of multicollinearity. But if it is higher than 10, then it means that there is an issue of multicollinearity and it should be removed from your data set. The next feature for good regression model is that normal distribution of residual, that your residuals should be normally distributed. So normally we use JB test or Jork-Barrett test to check the normality of residuals. Alternative hypothesis, null hypothesis for this model is that residuals are normally distributed, and alternative is that residuals are not normally distributed. So we use the p-value. If the p-value is less than 0.05, then we will reject our null hypothesis. It means that we have to accept alternative hypothesis, which means that residuals are not normally distributed. As I mentioned earlier that in this session we are only discussing the things theoretically. In our next session we will apply all these tests and see that practically whether there is an issue of multicollinearity, where there is an issue of our residual are normally distributed or not. So in this session we are only discussing everything theoretically. So the next good feature for the regression model is that the model should have homoscedastic. So basically homoscedastic means that variance are constant over the period of time. When your variance are constant, we say that the data is homoscedastic. When the variance is not constant, then it means that there is an issue of heteroscedasticity. So the null hypothesis is that variance of residual is homoscedastic. H1, the alternative hypothesis is that variance of residual is heteroscedastic, which means that variance is not constant, and H0 means variance is constant. We use Brash-Pagan-Godfrey test and we see the p-value. If the p-value is less than 0.05, we will reject the null hypothesis. It means that there is an issue of heteroscedasticity. And the next good feature of the model is that there should be no autocorrelation in the model. So basically autocorrelation exists when residuals are correlated with each other. So for this we in case of normal autocorrelation we use Durbin-Watson test. If Durbin-Watson is close to 2, it means that there is no issue of autocorrelation in the data. But if we want to see the serial autocorrelation, then we use Brash-Godfrey test. So H0 is residuals are not autocorrelated. It means that there is no issue of autocorrelation, and its alternative hypothesis that residuals are autocorrelated. It means that there is an issue of autocorrelation. So we use or we see the p-value. Again, if the p-value is less than 0.05, we will reject the null hypothesis. It means that there is an issue of autocorrelated in our data. So the next good feature of the regression model is the theoretical soundness. Theoretical soundness means that the variable which you have included in your model, those variable must be based on some kind of theory. Before taking any independent variables in your model, you have to study literature view. So more the literature views you have studied, the more good model you are going to develop. So without studying any literature view, you cannot develop any economics model. So there should be theoretical logic behind your any economics model. So if you have used literature view and if you have used theory in your model, then your all result will be according to your desire. But if you have not studied any literature and you have taken any independent variable randomly, so this will give you the biased results, and there and might be possible there would be certain type of issues like multicollinearity, or might be there possibility of autocorrelation or heteroscedasticity. So before making any economic model, you have to study the literature view, which will give you the best idea about taking the independent variable. And the last thing for the good feature of the regression model is the parsimony. So basically parsimony is mean that your model must be simple. Make your model as simple as possible. Do not take many independent variable in your model. So for the simplicity of the model, take only 3 to 4 independent variable models. If you have taken 15 or 20 independent variable model, so it will make the model complex. So it will not easy for you to it will be not easy for you to conclude the model or analyze the model or forecast the values on so much variables. So this is also an important feature that your model should be simple. So this is all for our this theoretical session, and now in our next session we will apply all these things practically, and we will interpret all the results one by one.